Humans think they know what pirates are. Picture their quaint vessels with flapping canvas sails, wooden wheels, and primitive gunpowder weapons. How adorable! Now imagine those same pirates, except their ships hover above water on cushions of steam. Their weapons harness lightning and brass casings, and their captains have mechanical limbs that could crush steel. Still not impressed? What if I told you they're trying to save something called Christmas from us? Superior Vexelian Empire. My name is Navigator Corbin Zalther, third eye of the Vexelian Armada, and I'm recording this transmission as a warning to all 7 sectors of our glorious empire. These humans are far more resourceful than our initial assessment indicated, and more ridiculous. The first time I encountered Captain Thorne of the airship, the Brass Kraken, I was monitoring the Caribbean quadrant from our cloaked observation vessel. Thorne stood on the forecastle deck of his contraption, right leg a magnificent assembly of gears and pistons, left eye replaced with a brass telescope that whirred when he focused. His coat flapped dramatically in the wind. How do humans always manage to find wind for dramatic effect? It's statistically improbable. Full steam ahead, Mr. Watts, he bellowed, voice carrying across the water. The Vexelians think they have outmaneuvered us, but they have never faced a crew with nothing to lose and everything to gain. His first mate, a towering woman named Josephine Watts with dark skin and arms adorned with copper circuitry tattoos, pulled a large brass lever. The ship's massive boilers rumbled, belching clouds of steam through ornate funnels. The vessel rose higher above the turquoise waters, its copper-plated hull gleaming in the Caribbean sun. "Captain," she called, pointing toward the horizon where our cloaked ship hovered, "something's distorting the air over there." "It's them, isn't it?" I panicked. Our cloaking technology is supposed to be undetectable to primitive species. Yet somehow this human with nothing but a mechanical eye could perceive the subtle atmospheric distortion our ship created. Fascinating and troubling in equal measure. "Well spotted, Joe." Thorne grinned, a gold tooth catching the sunlight. "They think we can't see them. How tragically mistaken." He pulled out a bizarre contraption from his coat pocket, a compass whose needle spun wildly before settling on our direction. The chronocompass doesn't lie. The alien bastards have our Christmas cargo right there. Christmas cargo? I frantically searched our mission briefings. The Grand Admiral had ordered us to intercept and analyze various Earth artifacts of cultural significance. Among them was a collection of items related to something humans called Christmas, apparently some ritual involving decorating dead trees, exchanging wrapped objects, and venerating an obese home invader dressed in red. Why humans would celebrate such madness was beyond me. But High Command considered these artifacts valuable for understanding human psychology. What I couldn't understand was how Thorne knew we had them, or why he cared. Status report on the Christmas cargo. I barked at my science officer. Lieutenant Prax fluttered his neck frills anxiously. Stable in containment field, Navigator. The red and white striped confectionery sticks are emitting a strange energy signature we can't identify. The decorated tree has been shedding its needles at an alarming rate, and the red-suited mannequin continues to laugh intermittently despite having no power source. I rub my sensory nodes in frustration. And they're coming for this junk? What? Our cultural analysis suggests Christmas holds emotional significance beyond rational explanation, Prax offered. It appears to function as a societal bonding mechanism. Prepare defensive measures, I ordered, but maintain cloak. I want to see what these steam-powered simpletons think they are going to do. On the Brass Kraken, Thorne was addressing his crew, a motley collection of humans enhanced with various mechanical augmentations. Some had brass arms with visible gears. Others had boiler-powered exoskeletons. All looked determined, which was concerning. "Listen up, you magnificent misfits." Thorne's voice boomed. "The year is 1889, and we stand at the precipice of history. Those star demons think they can steal Christmas from the world. They have already taken the North Pole workshop, Santa himself, and every last present meant for the children of Earth." "Wait, what? We'd done no such thing. We'd simply collected representative samples for study. The workshop our scouts found was abandoned. The mannequin was just that, an inanimate object. Wasn't it?" Thorne continued, pacing the deck with his mechanical leg hissing with each step. "But they don't know who they're dealing with. We are the Caribbean Steam Brigade, cast out by society for being too brilliant too modified, too dangerous. But today, we are the world's last hope. The crew erupted in cheers. I noticed their weapons then, Tesla coils mounted on flintlock frames, pressure cannons that could launch harpoons through steel, and something particularly concerning, glass vials of swirling golden dust labeled Belief Engine Fuel. Science officer, I whispered, analyze that golden substance they're loading into their weapons. Prax adjusted our sensors. It's impossible. It's registering as condensed human emotional energy. Specifically, joy, wonder, and belief. That's not possible, I snapped. Emotions can't be weaponized. Prax looked troubled. According to our readings, humans have found a way. On the brass Kraken, Watts was distributing the vials to the crew. 1 drop in your steam chambers doubles your engine power, she instructed. 2 drops in your weapons will pierce their alien shields. But be careful. This is the last of St. Nicholas's workshop dust. We use it all now, or Christmas is gone forever. I'd heard enough. Battle stations. Raise shields and prepare to decloak. If they want to fight, we will show them what real technology can do. Just as I gave the order, Thorne looked directly at our position, as if he could see through our cloak with that mechanical eye of his. He smiled, and I felt an unfamiliar sensation crawl up my spine. Humans call it dread. Mr. Watts, he said calmly, release the Kraken. From beneath the brass Kraken, massive mechanical tentacles erupted, each tipped with rotating drill bits and crackling with electrical energy. They stretched impossibly far, heading straight for our cloak position. Evasive maneuvers, I screamed, but it was too late. The tentacles punched through our shields as if they weren't there, wrapping around our hull. Our cloak failed, revealing our sleek biomechanical ship to the human crew, who cheered at the sight. How is this possible? I demanded as our ship shuddered. Their technology is steam-powered. It shouldn't be able to affect our quantum shields. Prax was frantically analyzing data. It's that golden dust. It's somehow converting their belief into tangible energy. The more they believe they can defeat us, the more power their weapons have. That's not science. I protested. That's magic, Prax whispered. Or perhaps science we don't yet understand. Thorne's voice suddenly boomed through our communication systems, which should have been impossible. Attention, alien vessel. This is Captain Thorne of the Brass Kraken. You have something that belongs to the children of Earth. Return Santa Claus and the spirit of Christmas, or we will be forced to deck your halls. And trust me, you won't enjoy our version of caroling. I grabbed our transmitter. This is Navigator Corbin Zalther of the Vexelian Empire. We have taken nothing but cultural artifacts for scientific study. We don't have your Santa Claus. There was a pause before Thorne responded. Then explain why Christmas has been fading across the world. Why children can no longer feel the wonder. Why the North Pole workshop is empty. Our chrono compass points directly to your ship as the source of the disturbance. I turned to Prax, who looked deeply uncomfortable. Lieutenant? Explain. Prax's frills flattened against his neck, a sign of extreme distress in our species. Navigator, there's something High Command didn't tell you about this mission. The artifacts we collected, they are not merely objects. According to my readings, they are connected to some kind of interdimensional energy network that spans Earth. By removing them, we have disrupted the field. Speak plainly, I demanded. We have accidentally stolen Christmas, sir. Not the objects, the feeling, the human belief network that powers it. Before I could process this absurdity, the ship rocked violently. On our view screen, we could see Thorne's crew launching grappling hooks with clockwork propulsion. They were preparing to board us. Repel boarders, I ordered. Activate defense drones. Our ship released a swarm of floating metallic spheres, each armed with stun beams. They rushed toward the approaching humans, but slowed as they encountered the golden dust, now clouding the space between our vessels. Oh my horror, the humans began swinging across on their grappling lines, their steam-powered exoskeletons hissing and their goggles gleaming. Leading them was Watts, who carried an enormous wrench crackling with electrical energy. Navigator, my security chief called. Our weapons are failing. The humans are generating some kind of field that's disrupting our technology. On the view screen, I watched as Thorne himself launched toward our ship, his mechanical leg propelling him through space, a saber in one hand and a pistol that glowed with golden energy in the other. "Seal the airlocks," I commanded, but it was too late. The first explosion rocked our hull as the humans breached the outer doors. Alarm sirens wailed throughout the ship. Over the chaos, I could hear something else the humans were singing. A battle song about jingle bells and one-horse open sleighs that made absolutely no sense, but somehow chilled my blood. "Navigator," Prax said quietly, "I recommend diplomacy. We don't understand what we are dealing with." I straightened my uniform. "Fine. Prepare a delegation. I will meet this Captain Thorne and explain the misunderstanding." Prax looked relieved. "Wise decision, sir. And perhaps we should bring the red-suited mannequin as a gesture of goodwill." I nodded curtly, trying to maintain dignity as the sound of humans tearing through our ship grew closer. "Make it so." As my security team escorted me toward the breach point, I wondered how I would explain this to High Command. Outmaneuvered by steam-powered pirates with a belief in something as irrational as Christmas magic, I'd be demoted to waste reclamation. The inner airlock door buckled and flew open. Standing there, silhouetted by steam and golden sparks, was Captain Thorne, his mechanical eye whirring as it focused on me. "Well, well," he said, twirling his saber. "Merry Christmas, Navigator Zalthar. I believe you have a friend of mine." Behind me, the containment field holding the red-suited mannequin suddenly failed. I turned slowly, a sense of dread mounting. The figure's eyes opened. Its belly shook, and it laughed, a deep, booming ho-ho-ho that echoed through our advanced starship like a challenge to everything we thought we understood about the universe. "Captain Thorne," the figure boomed. "Right on schedule, though I see you have modified my delivery system quite impressively." I stared, mandibles slack with shock. "Impossible." Thorne grinned, that gold tooth catching the light again. "Navigator, let me introduce you to Santa Claus, and you're on his naughty list." As the red-suited being stepped forward, the ship's systems began failing all around us. Golden dust seemed to materialize from nowhere, swirling around him. "This isn't happening," I whispered. "Your Christmas is just a human cultural construct. It can't affect our technology." Santa Claus placed a gloved hand on my shoulder. "Oh, Navigator Zalthar, let me tell you a secret about the universe. Belief is the most powerful force in existence. And right now, every child on Earth is believing with all their might that Captain Thorne and his brave crew will save Christmas. And we will," Thorne added, pointing his glowing pistol at my head. "One way or another." I raised my hand slowly, realizing I was witnessing something our scientists would deny was possible. A force our weapons couldn't fight. Christmas magic, powered by human belief. And somehow, impossibly, I found myself wondering if I might be on the wrong side of this particular battle. "Perhaps," I said carefully, "we should discuss terms of surrender. And you can explain exactly what this Christmas is really all about." Thorne lowered his weapon slightly, exchanging a look with Santa Claus. "Well," he said, "that's quite a story. It begins with belief, continues with generosity, and ends with hope. 3 things your empire could learn a great deal about." As Watts and the rest of the crew secured our ship, Captain Thorne began to explain Christmas to me. And despite myself, despite my scientific training and imperial conditioning, I found myself listening. Because if steam-powered pirates could defeat a Vexelian warship using nothing but belief and determination, perhaps there was more to these humans than our reports had indicated. And perhaps, just perhaps, this Christmas thing was worth understanding after all. But that would have to wait. Because at that moment, our ship's emergency beacon activated, summoning the rest of the Vexelian fleet. And suddenly, saving Christmas became a much more complicated proposition. "Captain, what's called urgently. We have got multiple ships inbound. Big ones." Thorne's smile never faltered. "Well then, Navigator Zalthar, it seems you are about to witness a Christmas miracle. Because those odds are just how we like them." And strangely enough, looking at the determination in his human eyes, one flesh, one mechanical, I almost believed him. Vexelian transmission log number 7291, encrypted priority alpha. I never thought I'd say this, but I'm starting to think the High Command doesn't know everything. Especially about humans. Particularly about humans with mechanical limbs who celebrate bizarre winter rituals involving home invasion via chimney. As the Vexelian reinforcement fleet approached our position, My ship's systems continued failing. The golden dust, this Christmas spirit as the humans called it, had infiltrated every circuit and conduit. And at the center of it all stood the red-suited being named Santa Claus, who was decidedly not a mannequin. "Navigator," Prax whispered, "what do we do?" Before I could answer, Captain Thorne stepped forward, his mechanical leg whirring as he approached Santa Claus. "Nick, we have got company coming. Big company. What's the plan?" Santa stroked his white beard contemplatively. "The sleigh is still in their cargo hold, but it needs Christmas spirit to fly. And right now, the spirit is fading all across Earth." I couldn't help myself. That's preposterous. Our scans showed no propulsion system on that antiquated transport vessel. It's just wood and metal. Santa's eyes twinkled with amusement. "Navigator Zalthar, your empire has mapped the stars but missed their meaning. Some things can't be measured by your instruments." Watts burst into the chamber, copper circuitry tattoos glowing faintly on her arms. "Captain, 7 Vexelian warships just dropped out of hyperspace. We have got 10 minutes, maybe less." Thor didn't look concerned. If anything, he looked excited. "Humans are baffling." "Perfect timing," he said. "Joe, gather the crew. We're going to need everything we have got. And prep the Kraken for transformation sequence beta." "Beta? What's raised an eyebrow?" "Captain, we have never successfully tested that configuration." "No time like Christmas Eve for a miracle," Thorne replied with a wink that I looked between them. "What's transformation sequence beta?" Thorne just smiled that infuriating smile. "You will see. But first, we need to get Santa's sleigh operational. Your empire didn't just take Christmas artifacts. You interrupted the spirit conduit that powers the entire operation." "The what now?" I was getting tired of feeling like the least informed person in the room, especially on my own ship. Santa placed a hand on my shoulder. His touch was surprisingly warm. "Every year, children's belief creates a network of energy that powers Christmas magic. Your scientists detected it, and not understanding what it was, attempted to study it by collecting key nodes in the network. That disrupted the entire system. So when we took the artifacts, I began. You broke Christmas," Thorne finished for me. "But we can fix it if we can re-establish the network before midnight." Our ship's proximity alarms began blaring. The fleet had arrived faster than expected. "Navigator Zalthar," came a voice over our comms. "This is Admiral Drex of the Vexelian Armada. Your ship has been compromised. Prepare to be boarded. We will neutralize the human infestation." Thorne looked at me expectantly that I made my decision. "Computer, seal all external access points and send the following message. Admiral Drex, situation under control. Humans contained. Require 47 minutes to complete critical research. Will transmit findings then." "Navigator." Prax looked scandalized. "That's borderline treason." "No," I corrected him. "That's science. We are witnessing something unexplainable. Don't you want to understand it?" On the view screen, we could see the Vexelian fleet holding position. They bought my excuse. "For now, 47 minutes, Thorne mused. "Oddly specific. That's how long until Earth's midnight reaches its final time zone," I explained. "I have been studying your planet more closely than most." Santa's booming laugh filled the chamber. "Well chosen, Navigator. Now let's get to work. We will need to connect the sleigh to your ship's power core temporarily, just enough to jumpstart the belief network." The next 30 minutes were chaos. Thorne's crew worked alongside my reluctant engineers, connecting Santa's archaic sleigh to our quantum power core. The integration should have been impossible. 19th century craftsmanship meeting technology thousands of years more advanced. Yet somehow, when Santa sprinkled that golden dust over the connections, they melded perfectly. "It's ready," Watts announced, wiping sweat from her brow. "But Captain, we need more belief energy to power the network restart. Our reserves are almost depleted." Santa nodded gravely. "Without enough children believing, we can't generate the necessary power." Thorne paced the deck, his mechanical eye whirring as he thought. Then he stopped abruptly. "What if we broadcast? Your ship has planet-wide communication capabilities, yes?" I nodded slowly. "Yes, but perfect." Thorne clapped his hands. "We will send a message to every child on Earth. Let them see Santa is real. Their belief will surge." "Absolutely not." I protested. "That violates our primary directive of non-interference. We can't reveal ourselves to your entire species." Actually, Santa interjected. Children under 10 already believe in me. Showing myself would merely confirm what they know. And adults. He chuckled. Adults will think it's an elaborate hoax. He's right, Prax said. Our cultural analysis suggests humans are remarkably skilled at dismissing evidence that contradicts their worldview. Fine, y coincide. But how do we broadcast? Thorne grinned. That's where the Kraken comes in. Watts, commence transformation sequence beta. Through the view screen, we watched as the brass Kraken began to change. Its hull plates shifted, gears turned, and steam vented in controlled bursts. The mechanical tentacles retracted, then re-emerged in new configurations. Within minutes, the steamship had transformed into an enormous broadcasting array, its tentacles serving as antennae. Behold, Thor announced proudly, the SS Kraken, specific Santa signal Kraken. I stared in disbelief. You built a transforming ship specifically to broadcast Santa to the world. Of course not. Thorne scoffed. I built a transforming ship because transforming ships are magnificent. The Santa signal capability was just good planning. 10 minutes until Admiral Drex expects our transmission. Prax reminded us anxiously. Santa took his position beside the sleigh, which was now glowing with energy from our power core. I'm ready, Captain. Thorne nodded to Watts. Broadcast on all frequencies, Joe. Let's bring Christmas back. Watts pulled a series of levers on a portable control panel. The Kraken's antennae lit up with crackling energy, and a beam shot toward Earth out on our monitors. We could see the signal reaching homes across the planet. Children looking up from their beds. Parents rushing to windows. Everywhere, expressions of wonder. Santa looked directly into the camera. Children of Earth, this is Santa Claus. Some very naughty aliens try to steal Christmas, but brave Captain Thorne and his crew have helped me save it. If you believe in Christmas, if you believe in the spirit of giving and hope, I need your help right now. Believe with all your hearts. Christmas needs you. The sleigh began to glow brighter as Santa spoke. Gauges on our power systems showed energy flowing not from our core to the sleigh, but from Earth to the sleigh and then to our ship. It's working, Watts exclaimed. The belief network is rebuilding. Power levels rising. The golden dust was swirling more intensely now, forming patterns in the air. Our ship's systems, rather than failing, began to integrate with the dust. Displays showed power levels exceeding maximum capacity. Santa climbed into his sleigh, which was now hovering above the deck. Navigator Zalthar, your ship is now part of the Christmas network, at least temporarily. Use it wisely. Wait, I called. Where are you going? I have presents to deliver, he replied with a wink. And only one night to do it. But don't worry, the spirit will remain. It's in all of you now. With that, his sleigh shot toward the cargo bay doors, which opened automatically despite no command being given. The sleigh flew out into space, leaving a trail of golden light behind it. 30 seconds until Admiral Drex's deadline. Prax warned the AS if on cue. The Admiral's face appeared on our view screen. Navigator Zalthar, your time is up. Explain your situation immediately. I straightened my uniform. Admiral, we have made a fascinating discovery about human cultural artifacts. They appear to generate a form of energy unknown to our science. I recommend we abort the collection mission and establish diplomatic relations instead. Admiral Drex's face darkened. You have been compromised, Navigator. Prepare to be boarded and decontaminated. The view screen showed the Vexelian fleet moving into attack formation. Captain, Watts said nervously. We have got 7 warships about to blow us to smithereens. Please tell me part of your plan wasn't just hoping for a Christmas miracle. Thorne smiled. Not hoping, Joe. Expecting. He turned to me. Navigator, how are your power levels looking? I checked the displays, eyes widening. They are impossible. We are at 400% capacity and rising. The belief energy is flowing through all systems. Excellent, Thorne said. You might want to hold on to something. Before I could ask why, he placed his hand on a control panel, now covered in golden dust. The ship responded to his touch, lights changing from Vexelian purple to Christmas red and green. Computer, he commanded, activate Christmas protocol. Scrooge redemption. Our ship hummed with power. A beam of golden light shot out, enveloping the lead Vexelian warship. then another, and another. Soon, all 7 ships were bathed in golden light on the view screen. We could see the Admiral's face changing from anger to confusion to wonder. What's happening to them? I asked. Christmas spirit, Thorne explained. Concentrated belief, energy. It's showing them the joy of giving rather than taking. The wonder of discovery rather than conquest. Sure enough, the warships were powering down their weapons. Admiral Drex's expression had softened completely. Navigator Zalthar, he said, his voice gentler than I'd ever heard it. What is this feeling? It's Christmas, Admiral. I replied, surprised at the emotion in my own voice. It's about hope and generosity and believing in something better. I like it, the Admiral admitted. High Command will need to reevaluate our approach to Earth. As the golden light faded, we could see Santa's sleigh streaking toward Earth's atmosphere, moving faster than any of our sensors could track. Thorne placed a hand on my shoulder. Well, Navigator, looks like we saved Christmas and possibly prevented an interstellar war. Not bad for a day's work. I couldn't help but laugh. A very un-Vexelian thing to do. Indeed, Captain, though I suspect explaining this to my superiors will be challenging. You could always join my crew, Thorne offered. We could use someone with your knowledge of the stars. And clearly, you have got the Christmas spirit now. Before I could respond, a small, gift-wrapped package materialized on a console before me. The tag read simply, for Corbin Zalthar, every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. SC. I opened it carefully to find a small brass compass, similar to Thorne's but with Vexelian markings. When I held it, the needle spun before pointing not to any physical location, but seemingly towards something inside me. A chronocompass, Thorne explained. It points toward your true purpose. Seems Santa thinks you have a new path to follow. What's approached, looking at her own compass. Captain, the Kraken is ready to depart. The crew is asking if our new alien friend is coming along. I looked around at my ship, now returning to normal as the golden energy dissipated. Prax, who gave me a subtle nod of encouragement, at the stars beyond the viewport, suddenly seeming full of new possibilities. I believe, I said, savoring the new meaning that word had for me, that I am. 3 Earth months later, the Caribbean sunset painted the sky in shades of orange and purple as the brass Kraken soared above the waves. I stood at the rail, my uniform replaced with a coat that flapped dramatically in the wind. I'd finally figured out how humans always manage that effect. Captain Thorne joined me, his mechanical eye whirring as he surveyed the horizon. Any regrets, Navigator? I shook my head. None. The Vexelian Empire has established its first diplomatic mission to Earth. Admiral Drex sends his regards, by the way, in his latest poem about snowflakes. Who would have thought, Thorne mused, that Christmas spirit would turn a conquering alien armada into poetry-writing explorers? The universe is full of surprises, I replied. Speaking of which, our sensors detected an anomaly near Jamaica. Possibly that sea monster you've been hunting. Thorne's face lit up with excitement. Excellent. I knew the Kraken detector would prove useful eventually. As he hurried off to alert the crew, I took one last look at the sunset. Somewhere out there, Santa was preparing for another Christmas. And this time, the Vexelian Empire would be helping, not hindering. I touched the brass compass hanging around my neck, its needle pointing steadily toward adventure, toward wonder, toward belief. Who would have thought that saving Christmas would lead to saving myself? But then again, as humans like to say, that's the magic of the season. End of Vexelian transmission log number 7291. Navigator Corbin Zalthar, signing off. Merry Christmas to all, and all a good night.